Hi class, now we continue for the second part of the sharing session, which is on the challenges in civil engineering. As mentioned in the first part of the sharing, civil engineering is one of the oldest subfields in engineering, dealing with planning, design, development, construction and maintenance of structures and infrastructures. For example, routes, railways, airports, bridges, harbors, dams, irrigation, water and sewerage system. There is a high demand for this field because of its critical role in the modern society. As we know, civil engineering is the backbone of development and also the indicator for the country economy. That gives more pressure on civil engineers today to be aware of the challenges that the profession is facing. It's no longer enough to do what is only required to do on the job, but it is also important that civil engineers are knowledgeable on the present issues dominating the field in the hopes that they will address right way. The limits of civil engineering achievement keep extending, from the tallest building, the longest bridge or tunnel, but the greatest challenge is to bring those skills together to make a city work well as a system. Moreover, recently, the whole world economy being slowed down. As the indicator for the economic condition, civil engineer facing more challenges compared to the rest. As Warren Buffett mentioned, only when the tide goes out do you recover who is being swimming nakedly. Yes, that means during this challenging time, only those engineers with the ability to handle all the challenges can continue to survive. Now, let us go and have a look what's the challenges facing by civil engineer. During the planning and design stage, one of the major challenges to civil engineering is the transport system for town planning. A city must deliver areas of residence, industry, retail, and entertainment with sufficient transport links. If a new transport link is created, then it will usually attract users, for example, highway, tram, or railway. For example, for Malaysia, when the time without the south-north highway, people have to use the kampong route to travel and go back to their hometown. But after the highway being completed, most of the people will choose to use the new transport link, although they have to pay for the toll. Proper planning for traffic flow and reducing traffic congestion is important to ensure a town or a country to continue develop. Redefining mobility for a growing population, transportation is a crucial part of civil engineering. While self-driving cars are not entitled part of the field, they have a profound effect on how transportation systems work, which civil engineers deal with. Of course, as we know, self-driving cars or automated car mainly is involved the work for the mechanical engineer and electrical engineer to build the most cost-effective and feasible automated car. But as a civil engineer, we need to design and plan our road system to enable the self-driving cars or the automated car to travel on roads safely. There are a lot of great opportunities, not only from safety perspective, but imagine not idling as much. Randy Iwasaki, the executive director of the Contra Coastal Transportation Authority said. He added that, apart from self-driving car, The integrated of smart vehicle technology will take safety and transportation efficiency even further. Another challenge closer to civil engineering during the planning and design stage is flood management. The weather has a trend of becoming more extreme even with small rises in mean temperature. This has increased the risk of the flash flooding. For example, the flash flooding in Penang in the month of November 2017. Due to the climate changes globally, we can see that some of the months in a year we totally got no water, or we call it musim kemarau, but sometimes it will rain heavily. That means that the rain intensity have been changed. The rain intensity during the raining season being increased tremendously, but during the dry season or the musim kemarau, we are facing no water condition. Rivers need better levees and dredging. The selection of site for housing, avoiding flood plains is important, but this may go against the need to reuse the brownfield sites in preference to new site. Okay. As we know, during the high tide, water inside the river or the sea will rise. So it is important that we need to plan a new development with a sufficient buffer from this waterway. Besides that, hydrology design to ensure the flood management is properly catered is important to avoid the flood issue. In a nutshell, the major challenges for these stages will be the first one, enhancing disaster management through the infrastructure resilience, for example, the concept of smart tunnel. And then the second one is to improve the building energy efficiency via effort towards green building, as high building energy consumption for modern building. As we know, prevention is better than cure, so proper planning and design will help to mitigate quite a number of issues or challenging later. During the construction and management, civil engineers facing the challenges to reduce the soil erosion and the coastal erosion via proper erosion and sedimentation control management as per authority guideline, especially for the development at high-risk project site. For example, those development which located at the hillside or the coastal way are considered as the high-risk project. This kind of project, they are required to submit the erosion and sedimentation plan and report to the JPS, Jabatan Pengaliran dan Saliran, for approval, and also for the monitoring purpose from time to time to ensure the site soil erosion and the coastal erosion is controlled. Besides managing groundwater is also important to untap and depleting the groundwater. This is most important for the development which involve deep basement excavation. And the third one, water quality control. Proper site waste management will help to avoid the pollution to the water sources. Improving the construction productivity with the proper construction management and construction method at the site, for example, effective arrangement of human and equipment resources at site, using of IBS or the industrialized building system, enhance the construction site safety, safety awareness, and restrict requirement for the site safety. By take care of the site safety and enhance the usage of the personal protection equipment or PPE is very important to avoid the site accidents. This indirectly will help to save the cost and also improve the construction productivity. Besides, better waste disposal is to dispose the construction waste to proper dump site to avoid pollution, especially to the water source. The best way is to reduce the unnecessary waste at site, for example, to use the reusable formwork, which like system formwork, aluminium formwork, and so on. Okay. During construction and rehabilitation of infrastructure, we also will face several challenges. Normally, on poor and degrading infrastructure, we need to carry out rehabilitation work. Monitoring the health of the infrastructure is important to ensure the infrastructure is safe for the public to use. Reinforcing and rebuilding failing infrastructure, which means that there is a lot of work to be done and to improve. Integration of the new with the old, including preservation of heritage, is valuable. The adjustment of the balance is difficult. While cut tracks once followed few boundary, the modern highway now need to be strict for many more users. Contemporary issues in ethics and professionalism of infrastructure service. Changing the business mindset to include the sustainability and profit from it is important, especially for the private developer, which profit will be their main priority of business. Sustainability isn't a sacrifice, it's more of an advantage. If they are smart about it, they can make 51 to 81 more profit. Creating sustainable community that address the environment, economy, and society. Countries around the world are now obsessed with sustainable solutions in an attempt to reduce our carbon footprint. As we know, when the green building concept started to launch in Malaysia about 10 years plus ago, not much developer got the awareness and they are not interested on it because the green material is expensive and normally the green building need higher construction costs compared to the conventional building. But as long the road, our government have taken the initiative and effort to educate the developer and also incentive being provided to the developers. Now green building become a new trend and the developers start to aware that from long term actually is benefit to them. Okay, just now we have go through all the challenges facing by the civil engineer during the different stages. Now we are going to talk about the techniques of decision making and the problem solving to face all these challenges in the scientific way. At first, we need to define the problem. Then, secondly, we look at the potential causes for the problem, means we need to find out the root for the problem. Only we can know the reason behind, then we are able to solve the issue. Third, we identify the alternative for approaches to resolve the problem. Then from there, we select an approach to resolve the problem. And we plan the implementation of the best alternative, which is your action plan. After implement the action plan, we need to monitor implementation of the action plan. and we verify it if the problem had been resolved or not. Other simple techniques for the problem solving are simplify the problem, solve one part at a time, redefine the problem. As we know, if you want to eat a big elephant, you also need to have a proper planning first. Then you divide the elephants to several small parts, and each time you only take the one small part of the elephant. One day, finally, you sure can resolve the problem or you sure can finish the elephant. Thank you.